You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Spring is one of my favorite times of the year. The months of March, April, and May are the months when the bass move out of deep water, move up shallow, they make nests, and they go through their spawning ritual. It's one of the better times of the year for you to find and catch a big bass. On today's show, I'm excited to pass along some of what I've learned over the years about locating these spawning bass, how you can catch some at a lake or a river near you. And to help us do that, I've come to one of my favorite little test tube bass lakes. It's a beautiful little lake called Brandy Branch Reservoir. It's not big, but it's got lots of different kinds of cover and structure, great to demonstrate what we're talking about today. While we're doing this out there today in the Tracker Pro Team 195, we're going to be taking you around your local region for your fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters. They'll give you the lowdown on what's biting lakes, rivers, and bays near you, both fresh and salt water. The Tracker boat goes down the boat ramp and into Brandy Branch Reservoir. Let's get things started back at the FSN studios with your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to Fox Sports Outdoors. I've got good news if you're heading to the lake this weekend. The lunar tables are indicating excellent fishing conditions on Saturday and good conditions on Sunday, with the best daytime game fish activity taking place early in the afternoon. The sun will rise at 6:52 and set at 6:26. And we just had a full moon this week, so evenings should be fairly well lit. We're coming right back with fishing updates from around the area. And I'll return with catfishing expert Chad Ferguson for this week's Ask the Pro feature. Stay with us.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than a boat, it's a tracker. Mercury Outboards, go boldly. Lowrance and the new Hook 2, the world's easiest fish finder. And Louisiana Travel. Plan your fishing trip at louisianatravel.com.
He ate my craw off of there. That is like a little spawned out female. Some grass and a fish. Grass and a fish. There we go. I thought I was in grass. Whoa. Come back, Shane. I pulled up against some of that hydrilla. There we go. There's a little specimen for you right there. Well, that's a neat key. You hit grass, you hit fish. Hey everybody, we've made it out. That fish has got a face full of lipless rattling crankbait there. Let's begin this lesson by showing you what a chunky little bass looks like. That's a nice little spring male coming up to get ready to spawn. I'll tell you the stages of this. We're going to break this down into 3 segments today. Segment number 1 is when the water temperature first warms up to about 55 degrees. The fish begin transition out of deeper water, which is out in the main part of the lake, and they start moving up on points in the mouths of coves, and they'll get in 8 to 10 feet of water, something like that. They're very aggressively feeding, and that stage is called the pre-spawn. They're not actually spawning yet. Males move first, females are close behind. So what you want to do is be fishing a moving bait that fish can aggressively feed on. That's a lipless rattling crankbait. I've got a big spinner bait on. There happens to be a bunch of grass in this lake. I'm watching these grass beds on my Lowrance Hook 2 unit here, which does a great job of showing these grass beds. And I'm just staying on the outside edge in 8 to 10 feet of water, top to the grass, and every once in a while, I feel a little tick of that grass with that bait, and that's where those fish are gonna be, right on the outside edge.
MirrOlure, building quality saltwater lures since 1937. Turn on the bite anytime. Tie on a MirrOlure. Well, beautiful spring weather has really kicked off saltwater fishing all along the Gulf Coast. I was talking to my son Eric over in Biloxi, and he says sheepshead fishing is absolutely on fire throughout the Biloxi Bayfront area and that Pascagoula region too. He says these fish are going 3 to 6 pounds. They're catching them around all the rocks and docks and bridges, any of the Bayfront kind of structure areas. He emphasizes using a very short shank, 2X strong hook with a little split shot and a piece of shrimp or a crab knuckle if you can get it. Eric also says that black drum to 30 pounds are schooling. You can find these fishes by cruising the shallow water and look for them bumping up the surface. Trees ahead of them with an electric motor, come in silently and cut them off, and then pitch shrimp or squid to them. Sometimes they'll hit a jig, and they're great fun to catch on reasonably light tackle. Eric also says trout fishing has been very good in the Gulfport area for those who are using live shrimp under corks, and offshore tuna fishing is just off the chart. Primarily yellowfins, catching some blackfins too, but it's way offshore in the Domes area. Captain Charlie Gray in Dauphin Island, Alabama, also says that the tuna fishing is outstanding, well offshore. He recommends fishing around the floating oil rigs. Again, it's way offshore fishing, specialized fishing, but it is excellent right now. Water temperature's perfect, plenty of bait around. Sheepshead also are turned on along the Alabama coast. Again, they're going 3 to 7 pounds. They're catching those sheepshead around the oil rigs inside Mobile Bay, and you can catch limit numbers of those also. Red fishing has been very good in the lower Mobile Bay area, primarily in creeks and marsh areas. Sometimes early in the morning you can catch reds and trout using topwater plugs with mirror lure top dogs, excellent bait using the walk the dog retrieve. And in Georgia, Captain Tim Cutting says redfish and trout are on fire. Inshore waters have been very good, particularly for redfish in the upper creek areas and trout in 8 to 14 feet of water. Well, that's it for the Southeast coast. Fishing is good. It's only going to get better. And next time you go, remember to take a youngster with you.
One's got it. One's got it. Got him. Fish on. Oh no, he's around the stump. Pulled up here in some shallower water, actually looking for some actual spawning fish now. Oh, he's still on there. I can see him. He came loose. He came loose. All right. Come up here, buddy. Little fatty. That is a tiny little spawning female. Look at the belly on that fish. Not a big fish at all, but that's a little female. That's crazy. Let me explain to you what we've done. We told you about starting off that the fish are going to move out of that deep water and kind of move to the outside edges and get ready for the pre-spawn, or get ready to move up shallower. Next, let's talk about what happens when they actually spawn. Next, I'm moving up even shallower. My boat's sitting in about 4 or 5 feet of water right now. I'm within a good cast of the shoreline, and all I'm doing is just making fan cast around with a little soft plastic jerkbait. Before we go to our next break, I want to quickly explain to you the area that we're fishing and what you want to look for pre-spawn and spawning bass. It's a big main lake point. There's not a bunch of brush and standing timber and stumps here. Some scattered grass beds. The key is the next place these bass are going after they come off the main lake, right around that corner, is a flat spawning cove. Coming up next, we're going to explain what happens in that cove, what happens when they make their nest during the spawning process, and try to catch a few more bass. Stay with us. We're coming right back. I've actually made him mad. He got it. There we go. A lot of times when you find just a hole in the grass bed, that'll be right where they're making a nest. And I see a little bit of a light spot right here. Got him. There was one in there. How about that? That worked out well. Come up here, boy. You are one feisty dude. Right on a little light spot. I couldn't really tell if it was a nest or not. He ate my craw off of there. That is looks like a little spawned out female, a little small one with a skinny belly. Okay, I'm gonna let you go back, for crying out loud. Man, back he goes. So when you're doing this, you've just gotta be real opportunistic. I've got a couple of different rod and reels rigged up, and I'm just floating my way down through here. I'll throw on the outside with a soft plastic jerk bait. That's the one I've been catching actually the majority of my fish on today. It's that bait right there. And then that one came on a crawfish pattern, Jacob Wheeler punch-out craw, and I'll show all that to you at the end of the show. But you pitch around those light spots with a Texas rig, you throw on the outside with a weightless soft plastic jerk bait. You do several different things and just be observant of what's going on, and you just pick one off here and pick one off there. It's great fishing in the springtime.
Hey guys, Crispin Pally here with your Tennessee and Kentucky Fishing Report. I'm really excited to be kicking off another season of these reports. I really enjoy getting to share some knowledge about what, when, where, how they're biting in Tennessee and Kentucky. Standing out here in the rain right now, I'm at Montgomery Bell State Park in Middle Tennessee, and this is so indicative of the late winter, early spring we've had. We've had tons of rain. Every body of water is full. There's current running on the big rivers. All the reservoirs are off color from the runoff, and I am going to tell you what I would do. It's one of my favorite things to do this time of year every year, and it's often overlooked. These little lakes like this, these little state-managed fisheries are full of fish, big fish, and all species of fish. But let's talk bass fishing for a minute, because kind of that's like my favorite thing on earth to do. These little lakes, there's Natchez Trace, there's tons of little state-managed lakes. They often have boating restrictions and very strict size limits. Do a little research, get online, do a little looking around, and find these lakes and go and enjoy the early spring. They have less pressure. They warm up the fastest. The fish are usually a little bit ahead of everywhere else around. Well, I'm gonna get this camera back in the truck. I'll be back to see you next week. God bless.
Hey, I've got another one on a bed right here. I've actually made him mad. He got it. There we go. And he's in grass. Come around there. That's a better fish. All right. Look here. Sports fans, that's a little female sitting in there on that bed. I actually saw that fish. Threw in there about 3 or 4 times. And man, that fish was very aggressive and was ready to bite. Good hook set, good fish. There you go. Little Brandy branch special right there for you. That's just to demonstrate what can happen when they're in here spawning like this. Let's release that fish back and she will go finish her spawn. There we go. Oh, fast. And just a classic example of what can happen, these fish making these beds. So you fish for the ones that are the pre-spawners that are moving up from that deep water. Then you move a little closer within a cast of the bank, fish a soft plastic jerkbait around for those that are looking to make a nest. And then you can actually catch the bass that are sitting on a nest. And I want to show you just a couple of quick shots, just so you know what you're looking for and just so you have some idea of what these fish are doing. They're typically about the size of a giant trash can lid. And they're a little bit lighter spot wallowed out in the bottom. Sometimes you'll see the fish on them, sometimes you won't. It's hard to catch one off of a bed. Probably the most difficult bass to catch is one that's actively spawning on a bed. It can be done. The ones that are easier to catch are about a cast behind me, right back there.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Lew's. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland. We know bass and crappie from heads to tails. And by Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades.
That one gave me a fight right there. All right, there's another one. Soft plastic jerkbait. That one came up and got it right here by the boat. Round a stump. Come loose, buddy. Around that stump right there. And he came loose. That one gave me a fight right there. All right, there's another one. Soft plastic jerkbait. Key bait in the springtime. We're talking spawning fish today, and this is going to be it could be a little spawned out female. You know, here's what happens. The fish move up there and spawn, and we've showed you what a couple of these spawners look like. We've showed you what a couple of beds look like. The next thing that's going to actually happen is these bass are going to stay there till the fry hatch, and then they're going to move off the beds and head back out away from those shorelines. A lot of times the way you can tell a post-spawn bass that's already finished is the belly will be very loose and skinny. This looks like it actually had a fat belly at one point, but now you just see a lot of concave spot in there where that fish looks like its egg sac was, so that's probably a female, already spawned, fry's already hatched. And this fish has moved back out. I'll let that fish go back. Talked about pre-spawn bass moving up, spawning bass on the shoreline in shallow water, making those beds spawning, and then post-spawners now moving back out. You can catch all three, but you got to fish for them in different locations and different ways. Fish for the post-spawners going back out 8, 10, 12 feet of water. That one hit another soft plastic jerkbait.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report. This week brought to you by the Crazy Sister Marina. That's right, the leader in water sports along the Grand Strand for years and years is now the sponsor of the Carolinas Report. Visit crazysistermarina.com to book your trip, book your boat, or become a pirate. crazysistermarina.com. I tell you what, so many things going on, but I'm going to need your help in 2018. Please email me if you've got a report from your lake, your body of water that you're at that I don't talk about a lot. Email me, english1970@yahoo.com. Send pictures. I'll be sure to get them out there on the Fox Sports site for you and also get them in my report. One thing I can tell you right now, if you're a bass fisherman, spawn, spawn, spawn. Get out with a creature bait. Fish those beds. You're going to catch your big woman of the year. The big fish are out there. 8, 9, 10 pounders. It's that time to go get them. Also in the salt water, the water temperatures are rising. The redfish are breaking up from those winter schools. It's time to get out there. If you're looking for redfish, good live bait, artificial bait, you can find those schools back in those shallows where the water warms up quickest. You'll have a good time. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by the Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder. Keep your chaos organized.
There's one. Oh, they all get around stumps. Now he's loose. There he comes. All right. Fish on, baby. Another one on a soft plastic jerkbait. I want to show you how I'm working this bait. First, I need to get this fish loose. Get him back in the water so he can go spawn. There we go. Decent bass. A lot of males. I'm actually making big long casts. There's no weight on this bait. As soon as it hits the water, I'm counting at about 6 or 8 seconds. Good full seconds. Let it go down about 1.5 feet under the surface, and it flutters as it goes down. Rod tips down and go twitch, twitch, and then pause, 6, 8 seconds. They get it on the pause, twitch, twitch. Got it, got it, got it. Got him. Don't go down in that grass. Oh, we got in the grass. He's still on there. Look at this. Holy cow. He's all balled up in the grass. Now he came alive. There we go. That's a fat little toad right there. All right. There's a good little soft jerkbait bass for you right there. We'll let that one go back.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes by clicking the archive button and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and follow button on Twitter. And watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free Waypoint TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Motor Guide's new wireless and easy-to-use XI3. XI batteries, powering the world forward. Waypoint Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. And Strike King, designed by the pros, fished by you.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro question, your chance for insight from professional anglers. This week, Dale asks, do catfish only bite towards the bottom? To get the answer, we checked with catfishing expert Chad Ferguson.
Catfish don't just feed on the bottom. They're going to feed all throughout the water column in deep or shallow water. They're going to go where there's food and oxygen that makes them feel good. They're opportunistic predators and they often go out in search of food. One of the easiest ways to target suspended catfish is by using a plain old slip sinker rig with a line counter fishing reel. That line counter reel is going to allow you to deploy a precise amount of line, get those baits exactly where they need to be in the water column, and right in front of those catfish so you can catch more fish. Suspend drifting is an excellent way to go out and target catfish many times of the year.
Thank you, Chad. If you have a question to ask one of the pros, just visit our website, click on the Ask the Pro link, and let us know. Now back to Barry for this week's Big Catch of the Week.
We are back at the boat ramp and time for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. One of our viewers gets their big fish picture shown on television. Here's this week's winner. He is Jake Swearingen of Daphne, Alabama, showing a 10-pound, 4-ounce triple tail he caught in Mobile Bay, Alabama. If you'd like to be our next winner, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. On the right side of the front page, click in the Big Catch of the Week area and follow the instructions to send us your photo. You could have your big fish photo shown on television. Next up on our gear segment, a couple of quick components to catch these spawning largemouth bass in the spring. First of all, a great rod and reel factory matched combo that I was using to catch a bunch of these fish today, the Lew's Mach Crush combo. It's got the Lew's Mach Crush SLP super low profile reel. It's got the wind grip handles, a couple of different anti-backlash controls, color coordinated with the Lew's Mach Crush speed stick rod. It's got the microwave guide system, the split wind grips, everything you would want in a factory matched combo, and it's the perfect action for the soft plastic jerk baits that we caught the bass on today. Here is the soft plastic jerk bait, beginning with the Jean LaRue Salt Flicker. We had it rigged weightless and Texposed with the hook stuck all the way through the bait and then barely skin hooked out the other side. Then we used the Jean LaRue Punch Out Craw, and as you can see, it's the perfect little bed fishing bait. We had a little 1/4 ounce bullet weight on the front of it, wormhead weight, had it Texas rigged, and the cool thing about this one is you can either use it as a punch through bait and keep the claws attached, or you can break them loose for a lot more action. Everyone needs to have markers. What are they? Markers are significant dates along the journey of your life that are only significant to you. Now, not simple things like birthdays and anniversaries, but it could be something like an athletic accomplishment or a career achievement or a healing of a medical issue or a baptism, something that is important to you in your life. Markers are to be celebrated year after year after year so that we can always remember the major accomplishments that bring us joy and happiness. What are the markers in your life? I hope you had fun watching us catch some bass at Brandy Branch Reservoir in Far East Texas. But more importantly, I hope you took some mental notes, because you can go out and duplicate some of these same techniques and have a great time catching bass over the next few weekends while they're in their spring spawn. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.